guerrillas carried out an act of sabotage in Bryansk, which left the local FSB headquarters without power. The arson attack on a power transformer occurred during a Moscow inspection, according to the Atesh guerrilla movement. The partisans note that at the time of the sabotage, local FSB leadership reported to a commission from Moscow about complete control over the situation in the region. After the power outage, panic broke out in the building, and the planned inspection was instantly paralyzed. We've proven that while the FSB reports complete security, Atesh is striking directly at their nerve centers. Their control is an illusion, and their security is a lie, the partisans noted. Atesh emphasized that the guerrillas continue to systematically attack enemy infrastructure, creating instability and disorganization deep in the rear. In addition, the partisans carried out another act of sabotage in Rostov-on-Don. They managed to destroy a communications center belonging to the Russian occupiers. The partisans infiltrated an enemy military airfield, which belonged to the 229th Air Base of the 4th Army of the Russian Aerospace Forces, and burned the antenna vehicle of the R-417 Baget radio relay station, based on a KAMAZ 4310 truck. Atesh notes that this vehicle was a critical communications and command hub for coordinating air operations and transmitting data between military units of the Southern Military District. Recently, a partisan agent attacked the logistics of the aggressor country, Russia, in the Chuvash Republic. The railway there was disabled. With this message, the occupiers are transporting Shahid-type attack drones from a factory in Yelabuga to the war zone in Ukraine. Agent Atesh managed to blow up a relay box on a stretch of road between the villages of Altashevo and Aladar in Chuvashia. Following the explosion, a disruption in the movement of warehouses occurred, which caused a delay in the delivery of ammunition and shaheeds, which the occupiers actively used to attack the civilian population of Ukraine. We've already struck this logistics chain in Mordovia. The Russian army can't feel safe even in its rear, we'll get them everywhere, Atesh added. Several days ago, an agent of the Atesh partisan movement paralyzed a railway junction near Ekaterinburg, Russia, by damaging relay equipment on the railway. This resulted in the disruption of train traffic on all strategic routes. It was previously reported that partisans blew up railway tracks in Smolensk that lead to a plant producing Kh-59 missiles for the Russian Ministry of Defense, drones, and other military equipment.
Journalist and blogger Vladimir Zolkin reported that the chief of the Russian General Staff, Valery Gerasimov, has begun firing generals responsible for the failures in the Pokrovsky direction. He wrote about this on his Telegram channel. According to Zolkin, the head of the Russian General Staff is panicking and searching for someone to blame for the failed offensive and his own lies to Russian dictator Vladimir Putin. Gerasimov is frantically searching for someone to blame for the failures and his own lies to Putin about everyone being defeated, captured and surrounded. The generals' heads are rolling, Zolkin wrote. According to him, Lieutenant General S. Milchakov, commander of the 51st Army, was dismissed for failing to fulfill offensive objectives. Major General Viktor Kindeyev was appointed acting commander. Colonel Naimushin, commander of the 132nd Separate Motorized Rifle Brigade, was also dismissed due to significant personnel losses. Whether Gerasimov himself will be removed is unknown. In some ways, this liar even benefits us, the journalist wrote. A few days ago, Putin, after listening to Gerasimov's false report, publicly declared that the Russian army had allegedly surrounded Pokrovsk. The dictator even began inviting foreign journalists to Pokrovsk to convince themselves of the encirclement. However, no encirclement exists. Ukrainian military journalists, OSINT analysts, and even Z-bloggers unanimously confirm that the Ukrainian Defense Forces are not encircled and that their logistics haven't even been cut off. In essence, Gerasimov, in order to justify his failures to the Kremlin, invented a non-existent encirclement and painted Putin in an extremely ridiculous light. Apparently, Gerasimov is now trying to salvage his own reputation by purging his subordinates and eliminating those who failed to make his lies reality. There, the Kremlin's protégé in the occupied part of Donetsk Oblast, Denis Pushilin, posted a video from the Pokrovsk direction. German journalist Julian Repka geolocated the video. Pushilin is in Ocheretino, 32 kilometers from Pokrovsk. As the saying goes, don't let foreign journalists into Pokrovsk while you're drinking juice in your own neighborhood. The influential B. Orr writes about this. Repka also reports that the Ukrainian Defense Forces have cleared Rodinsky and shows footage from there. Russians are bombing positions that were still under their control on October the 26th. Rodinsky is the northern flank of the Pokrovsk-Milnorad agglomeration and the main road to Milnorad. Losing control of Rodinsky complicates the Russian group's encirclement of Pokrovsk from the north, although there is a small gut from Krasny Liman toward the road, so it's too early to talk about the threat from the north being removed. In general, if you look at Repka's map, it is quite optimistic, despite the fact that Repka is a well-known alarmist. As for Pokrovsk itself, Deep State confirms the continued infiltration of Russian troops into the city from the south and records the expansion of the Grey Zone. But again, this is about sabotage and reconnaissance operations, not full-fledged control, let alone encirclement of an entire city. Although, according to Deep State, the occupiers are beginning to settle in Pokrovsk, establishing strongholds and positions for drone pilots. The highest military command has arrived in the Pokrovsk area and taken control of the situation. We are now seeing a decision to deploy various special forces units to clear the city of the enemy, who have amassed hundreds of infantry. However, there are no decisions yet on blocking enemy infiltration in the south of the city, says Deep State. P.S. There are also rumors that Gerasimov has removed Lieutenant General Sergei Milchakov from his post as commander of the 51st Combined Arms Army of the Russian Armed Forces, appointing Major General Viktor Kindeyev as acting commander and dismissing Major General Sergei Naimushin, commander of the 132nd Motorized Rifle Brigade. We are awaiting confirmation. This isn't surprising, as the 51st OVA was responsible for the failed offensive on the Dobropilya salient, which the Ukrainian Defense Forces cut off and are continuing to clear.